some fun is, where are we? Let's just wait for a couple of people to join in. I'm not sure what you can see from here, Kev, but yeah, I got like chat. Can you see some of the chat?
No, all I've
You can
got
just
is
see.
on my right-hand side, messages from audience will be displayed here.
Great stuff.
Yeah,
Okay, right. So hopefully we're good now. I'll just check that we're live. Here we go. Laura Collins, always the first in. Hey, Laura, nice to see you. Anyone else that's joining the live, do comment. Just nice to see who is on. Before we're doing that as well, I'm just going to play this little trailer. So bear with me, Kev.
World where people go trekking, who have questions about trekking. Two people who go trekking are here to answer your questions about trekking. Introducing the Tuesday Tune-In, hosted by Andy and Dave.
Are we live? No.
As far as we know, it's live.
Let's check if we're live, mate. Let's check if we're live.
Are we live?
Live.
Tackling subjects such as
Talking about good travel,
charities,
altitude,
Flying, footwear,
vaccination, fitness.
so you can make an informed decision about trips and go into them as prepared as possible. Years of expertise shrouded in top-level banter. Tune in every Tuesday at 12:30-ish.
Sorry, Kev, I had to get that out of the way.
That's fine.
Did you spot yourself in there, by the way?
All right. No, I'll have to run it back.
Did you? Oh, you'll have to check it out. I wanted to show that you're in there, but yeah, mate, welcome to the Tuesday Tune-In. All the EverTrekkers on the Tuesday Tune-In. You'll notice that we've replaced Dave. Yeah, I'd had enough of him, and Kev has now joined us to take over from Dave. So,
Hi everyone, pleased to be with you all.
Great stuff. Yeah, who we got on the live then? We got Laura, of course, Laura Collins. She's always first. Jim, hey Jim, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Sophie, Marky V, of course. Anthony Christian, second Tuesday Tune-In, mate. Thanks for sticking with us. We got Dave Squire from Devon. Great stuff. Nice to see some people on. Well, yeah, today, just to give everyone an overview and let everyone know who this is. So this is Kevin. He's from Brecon Mountain Rescue. He said yes to joining us. He has been on a Tuesday Tune-In before. We did a little special in the office, wasn't it, Kev? You came down.
Yeah. A couple of years ago now, yeah.
God, feels like ages ago.
You make a nice coffee as well. Yeah.
Well, great stuff. Well, I'm sure you got your coffee ready.
Mine's ready.
Where's your mug? I want to see that mug again. Has it got the goat on it or something? Or is that a sheep?
Yeah, we'll call it a goat.
We'll call it a goat.
Yeah.
Good man. Well, we got Sital, we got Bry, Afternoon Yetis, and Heroes. There we go. Been labelled a hero already, mate.
There you are.
So, Kev, you're doing well. Monica, great stuff, guys. No, it's really nice to have Kevin on. Obviously, we've been working with and supporting Brecon Mountain Rescue now for a couple of years. It's a charity that means a lot to us Yetis, obviously because of the location, but some personal stories as well. And yeah, Kev, we wanted to obviously bring you on to discuss obviously Brecon Mountain Rescue, some of the things you've been doing lately, obviously regarding the headquarters as well, which we'll go into, and also about our charity dunk, which we're doing on Friday. Can't wait. Which is creeping up. It's creeping up now. I think we're almost up to 8 minutes. I think we're just about £20 short of 8 minutes. So Jody, who is on the comments today, Jody, if you can post the link to donate, I want to put that in there today. And anyone that's on the live that does want to donate, we're £20 away from 8 minutes. So at the moment we're 6 minutes in the water, and like magic, the comment appears. If you do want to donate, this is all for Brecon Mountain Rescue. And we're almost at £800. So yeah, if anyone wants to donate, go for it. 8 minutes is £800. I think if we get to 1,000, we've got to stay in there for 10 minutes. And on that page there has the other targets. I think there's even a 15-minute target. So I'm not sure. But Kev, you said there's going to be one of your team at the event on Friday.
Yes, we like to support where we can and what people are doing for us. So one of our team is going to come along. Steph Williams. Has been in the team now for quite a number of years, for about five years.
Yeah.
His full-time job is a paramedic with the Welsh Ambulance Service Trust. So he's
Nice.
a very active lad. And so he'll be there to support you. And hopefully he won't need his skills as a paramedic on the day.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully. But it's good. It's good to have someone of his experience there. But no, it's yeah. Hopefully, it won't come to that, Kev, isn't it? But
Yeah.
that's charity, right? And we're gonna suffer for the cause. I think.
Yeah,
what
that's
we're
it.
gonna
Yeah. I take my heart off you. Yeah.
No worries, mate. No, it's well, Rosie pulled us into it. We got Rosie, myself, Dave, Zach, and we're hoping Jody, but we'll see. I'm still trying to tempt her. I know she's listening in, so yeah, maybe we can all say, "Come on, Jody." But no, we'll see how it goes. So Kev, yeah, I thought we'll start at the beginning. Obviously, with yourself, Brecon Mountain Rescue. Can you just tell us a little bit about, your obviously to anyone who hasn't seen you before on the live or doesn't know about Brecon Mountain Rescue, like what the charity is, maybe your story, how long you've been there, that kind of thing.
Yes, no problem. It is surprising to know we've been providing this volunteer search and rescue service now for some 55 years, but there's still a lot of people out there that really don't know our role, the extent of work that we cover, who we work with, what other agencies we work with, and so forth.
Yeah.
Our particular area covers almost 700 square miles throughout Mid Wales.
Yeah.
The perception of a lot of people is that we spend a lot of time, which we do, going up and down Pen y Fan. That's correct, but our area covers throughout Mid Wales, as far as Welshpool. And it's not only mountains and remote locations that we provide our service for. We do lowland searches as well. We got a specialist teams for searching in and around water. We search for people with medical conditions, such as people living with dementia, and for vulnerable, despondent persons as well.
Yeah.
Basically, we provide the service to get access to places that the other emergency service cannot access or evacuate from. So it's something for all walks of life to think about if they're in a situation where medical services are required. So, for example, on farmland, that's one good example in Mid Wales. A lot of farmland, and the ambulance service may not be able to get access to the casualty on the farmland. Yeah. So this is where we come in. Similar with forestries, because the first protocol, if someone needs the medical assistant, is to phone 999 and ask for an ambulance without thinking, can we get an ambulance in this particular location? So Mountain Rescue is a service that can access this, and we work in conjunction with the ambulance service and the other emergency services. So so we've been around for 55 years, and we've got about 55 members.
Awesome.
And it actually costs us £55,000 a year for our operational costs.
It's volunteers. It's all volunteers, right?
We're all unpaid volunteers from all walks of life, men and women, which we give up our time quite freely and quite happily to do so.
Yeah.
And we respond to over 100 call-outs per year. We've actually responded 101 call-outs this year so far.
Jeez. So another month, just under a month to go, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Nice.
And in addition to this, obviously, we devote a lot of time to training and fundraising, which we got to do ourselves as well, and our engagement with local communities, especially schools, young persons, DOV groups, and so forth. So we'll do a lot of education and safety work with local communities and further afield, really.
Awesome, mate. Well, Kev, look, I mean, literally take my hat off to you, because I know, you obviously volunteer a lot of your own time, and I know, like you said, the other 54 members do as well, and that was one of the reasons. I mean, obviously, we're based in South Wales, but we spend a lot of time in the Brecon Beacons and the surrounding area. I know a lot of the team. I know Rosie is obviously from far up near Welshpool.
Yeah.
So you cover a big area, don't you? And it's mad how big that area is, and how many people are out in the mountains as much these days,
It is,
especially post-COVID.
Yeah, it certainly is. And especially when COVID came in, the extra demand we had, of course, with that, a lot of people started doing a lot more outdoor activities, such as mountain biking, for example. So mountain biking incidents were on the increase. We that was quite noticeable for us, especially around in mid Wales. And that was brought on, since COVID came in. So yeah, I mean,
and you'll notice, Kev,
people getting in the outdoors, enjoying leisure pursuits in the outdoors, because that's all where we've come from, really. So we take our hats off to them.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice to see so many people out there, and obviously out in the mountains and enjoying it. But things do happen, don't they? And Dave, who's here as well from Marrakesh, another Yeti. Yeah, he's and congratulations. I think we can all, anyone that's been on the Tuesday Tune In before, Dave is in Morocco, Kev, and he just summited Mount Toubkal.
Yeah.
So he, what was it? 8 minutes now. Oh, Anthony just donated. Anthony, you legend. Thanks very much, mate.
Oh, brilliant.
There we go. We're up to £800. Great stuff. Thanks so much. And Dave went to Toubkal back in April and, was quite ill at the time. He had a lot of sinus issues and other stuff. And he didn't make the summit. So he went back last week and literally summited, I think, day before yesterday. Huge, fantastic, achievement with Zach as well. Jen, my wife, was over there as well, but she suffered with the altitude quite a bit. She made it to the refuge, which is about 3,200 meters.
Yeah.
And a little bit higher. She did try and go for it, but she was really struggling. I think she had basically a little bit of HAPE, which is high altitude pulmonary edema. It's basically it's fluid in the lungs, and she was suffering with that a bit, so she had to get down. All speedy recovery to Jen, because she's got a really bad cough. But huge congratulations to Dave. I know it's been on his mind for 6 months, so you can imagine, Kev, he's got that kind of he really wanted to do it. So I'm really happy for him. Obviously.
It's brilliant. It's nothing more than disappointing. You go out somewhere like that and something happens and you can't do it. And you can't. And if anyone hasn't experience altitude sickness, it really takes it out of you. And so to go, to recover and go back, I'm sure he's pleased with himself now. Brilliant stuff.
He is, he'll be smiling from ear to ear. I'm sure on the next week he'll be very happy. I'm sure there's a beer involved somewhere.
Oh yeah.
He might even be slightly hungover today because he might have had a few celebrations last night. But
I don't blame him. Yeah.
Exactly. But no, thanks for telling us about Brecon Mountain Rescue, because we know there's a lot of different things that you do, not just, like you said, not just in the mountains. The other areas. And I know you've had a lot of call outs recently to people that, not necessarily fallen or slipped on the mountains, but they're, like you said, vulnerable people that, can go missing or wandering. And, like I said, huge thanks from all of us for doing that, Kev. I know it takes a lot of manpower.
If there's any questions out there, quite happy to answer them.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
not too difficult, of course.
Well, I say going out to the community as well. Do throw some questions out, because we're here for just under an hour. I know we probably get some comments coming through, some questions. I know Bry's just coming in. So Bry, he's been to Everest Base Camp with us. He's going to Killy next year. He was actually stuck. He arrived at Everest Base Camp the day we went into lockdown here in the UK. So back in early 2020, and they closed the borders. So he was actually stuck in Nepal in Kathmandu for 10 days. He didn't mind, because at the hotel I had plenty of beer. So Bry was happy, but he's a big part of the community. And what did you say? I take my hat off to all you members of the mountain rescue team, especially having to go out and put your own lives in danger to rescue people that go out unprepared, wearing unsuitable clothing, and especially unsuitable footwear. It does happen, doesn't it? I suppose it brings up a good point that sometimes people do go out to the mountain a little bit unprepared, don't they?
Yes, they certainly do. But I think it is a perception of a lot of people that most people go out unprepared, where we get a lot of people that are quite very well experienced and very well equipped for the conditions, and anything could happen to them. It's not all people that are not prepared. I mean, the most common injury for mountain rescue on the hills is lower leg injuries, where you just can't weight bear on the leg, So not life-threatening itself, but within the environment that the incident took place, it could soon turn into a serious condition with hypothermia, etc. So. So it's a good point to cover, though. The better prepared you are, you can reduce the risk substantially for some, getting yourself into difficulty or any of the party that you're with. So be prepared, and it'll certainly help you on your way.
Exactly, mate. Exactly, because you're right. It can happen to anyone, can't it? I mean,
it certainly can.
I remember probably about, when was it? September. So in August, I was literally walking the dog next to a river, and I rolled my ankle, and I got to be honest, I think I strained some of my ligaments, because I heard a pop, and you go down like a sack of spuds, and you're like, you feel the worst. Luckily, there was no major damage, but it can happen anytime, anywhere, and I count myself as having a lot of experience, but it can happen to anyone, can't it?
Well, it certainly can. It just needs a little trip or spill or something, and if you can't walk, you're stuck there. And whilst you're keeping warm walking, as you know, as soon as you stop and sit down, the cold comes in. And if you haven't got that extra layers to put on, help yourself, you could be in a lot of trouble. I mean, the three points we always try to put over is that have you got the right equipment? Have you checked the weather forecast? And are you confident of what you're intending doing? And those 3 boxes need to be ticked. And we also point people now to Adventure Smart, which is a great website for all outdoor activities. So anybody listening out there, have a look at Adventure Smart. There's a lot of great information out there to reduce the risk of things going wrong in the outdoor environment with a huge range of activities.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I haven't heard of that before.
Adventure Smart.
I've written it down so I can check it out. But thanks for sharing that as well, because you touched on another good point, and I'm sure we'll find out on Friday, is the cold. Which I wanted to touch on, because obviously the last week and a half, kind of 2 weeks, you certainly feel it more now. We're obviously going into winter, and here we go. Jodie's put the link to Adventure Smart on the comments there, guys, if anyone wants to have a little look. But Kev, with the cold weather and managing the cold weather, I mean, a lot of people on here obviously are going to cold mountainous regions around the world. Some of them in the Himalayas, some in South America, some of them like Kili in Africa, or even Tukal in winter. Are there any advice, or because I know you've touched on some small bits there, any bits that you'd say with regards to cold weather and how you'd manage your body in cold weather on the mountains?
Generally speaking, there's a saying, travel like cold night, so there's a lot of, you get a difference of people, who wish to travel, which is fine. But if you do get caught out, I mean, obviously, layers are better than one or two thick items of clothing. So it's looking what's suitable. So, a good base layer and some layers to put on. It depends on what the weather conditions are like when you're starting. It's always good to start a little bit cooler, rather than putting all your gear on, and you start walking and you're building up, you're quite active, and you start sweating and all this. And
it's a good point, actually. Yeah.
So try to be sensible. So you can start a little bit cooler, as long as you've got other warm equipment and certainly waterproof equipment to put on over you should you get cold. Or
Nice.
I think once you start doing a bit of trekking and walking, you'll everybody will experience being caught out at some time or other, and I think you've got to learn by your mistakes. You know, if you've been caught out and it's got a bit cold and you've got nothing to put on, there's a lot of people walking in quite cold conditions with just their shorts on, and I'm sure they could come unstuck really that if something happens, you know, and it could from what's going out for an enjoyable day could soon turn out to be a tragedy, you know, and that's something that we don't want.
Exactly. The more people prepared, I think, hopefully.
But we don't judge people, you know, what they're doing. It's the mountains are there. They're there for people to enjoy. All we promote is that, you know, take a bit of common sense and take a bit of advice and be adequately prepared. Because what we know in the UK is that in the middle of summer, we've had people with hypothermia in the middle of summer, you know. Really? So cold winter, cold condition comes in all the year round, really. So you've just got to be prepared for them.
I think what you said earlier about the three big things as well is that, you know, have the confidence to go out there. You know, if you've got to tick that box, and sometimes, having the right things in your bag. You know, if you've got, like you said, waterproofs, and you've got that in there, then then if you know, instead of getting drenched, you know, in summer it's maybe not too bad, but like you said, you can still get cold if you're wet and there's a bit of wind. As soon as that wind hits you and you're wet, your temperature's going to drop, isn't it? So you've got to have something to kind of get out there, you know, get out the bag and put it on if you're not already wearing it.
Certainly. I mean, you know, any little bit of kit like that are going to be a lifesaver, you know. And there was one question that popped up. Somebody asked about our team buffs.
Really? Yeah.
Buffs, and the good news is we've got an online shop now.
Nice.
So you can check it out on our online shop, and there's lots of team supporter merchandise there. If you look at www.breconmrt.co.uk/shop, you will come into our online shop.
Awesome.
And they'll be
Jody, put the link on there. Nice. Oh yeah, thanks for that, mate. Yeah, no, great stuff. You can get, because I've seen your buffs. They're quite nice looking as well.
Yeah, we've got choice of two colors. We've got hats, we got beanie hats, we got bobble hats, we got cool caps, t-shirts, you know, and we got the mugs and flasks, and quite a little bit of choice, especially now Christmas coming up. Some good gifts there for the family. So check them out.
Get merched up with Brecon Mountain Rescue gear.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, there we go. Jodie's put the link up there. Thanks, Jode. She's a legend. Just look at what Bry's saying there. Common sense. That's me stuff. Brilliant. No, it is. It's you know, obviously being out this time of year, getting out of the mountains. I know it's like, for me, this is my favorite time of year now. The cold, you know, it's you know, you might get some snow, some wind, but I was chatting to Dave and Jen yesterday in Mount Toubkal, and Dave was saying they had quite bad wind, as in not Dave, and not the accommodation on the mountain now. They had like 60 miles an hour winds on the way up to Mount Toubkal, and about half the groups up there actually had to turn around, which was nuts. But the boys, fair dues to them, that they cracked on. And they did say, like, the one thing that really made a difference was they'd had a lot of kind of experience in similar conditions. I think, you know, because a few people fell over. There was some, unfortunately, not part of our group, but they seen some people slip and hit their head out there, some bad injuries, which can happen anywhere. But because they had the experience of how to manage that situation, it certainly put them in a better position to go for the summit instead of turning around. And I say this to the community because, you know, if you're preparing for a high altitude trek in the mountains, you know, getting out there, pack on your back, getting the experience is so important in my opinion. You know, getting out there and just spending the time in the mountains to get comfortable in certain situations, get comfortable with your gear, in terms of knowing how many layers to wear, what to put on, what to wear, and or what not to wear. If you're running too hot. But just having that time can make a difference. And I think Dave said that. He said because he'd experienced certain conditions, it was hard. He said it was actually harder than when he did Killy. So on Summit Night in Killy, brutal. The last time we were there, which was February 2020, myself and Dave, and the Summit Night was like 50 miles an hour wind. It's cold, so you can imagine it didn't matter what you're wearing, you're still feeling cold.
Yeah.
We had down jacket. I had a Gore-Tex jacket on top of my down jacket, which I never do. And it was that cold. And he said it was worse than that. So, definitely experience in those conditions and getting out there. I'm not saying to purposely put yourself in danger, but just getting out there and experiencing those mixed conditions can prepare you for it.
Yeah.
Well,
I think before you go, all the training it starts in this country before you do anything like that. So you start your training and you build up from there, And I think it will be a great advantage to people, to have some proper training as well with sort of navigational skills as well, so they're better equipped. It's good fun learning as well, but there's so many. Probably a lot of people now that just go out for the day, just rely on other people, follow other people, and look for, good established tracks. But even then, things can go wrong, So if you can build into this training, not only the fitness side of it and what equipment to wear, but how to look after yourself should things go wrong, We all use now, which are really great technology, mobile phones with all mapping on, but things can go wrong, and it could end up being a lifesaver, revert into a map and compass to navigate your way off a mountain or something, So all these skills are there, and there's plenty of opportunities for courses going around, and a lot of people there that will help people, So we always try to promote and tell people, try to adapt and learn these skills. And it's an ongoing learning skill that needs to be practiced. We do this all the time with our team, without training, We keep going over skills on a rolling basis. So that we keep ahead of the situation, It's no good passing a qualification 1 minute and not going back there and practicing the skills again. So
exactly.
So
I agree with that. Again, you go back to time, repetition. I know you guys, like you said, you spend a lot of time, obviously you're out in the mountains doing the call outs, but you spend a lot of time in the training, don't you? You're always doing training. You're always preparing.
Yeah.
And then that makes you ready then for when it does happen.
It does, yeah. So it's really essential, and just locally, if you've got a few mates and you're going to do these treks, get out together with someone experienced so that they can and just practice these skills, and you'll become more confident. And at least if you know your level of competence. So you know how far you should be pushing yourself with the knowledge you got, with the level you reached. So
I think it could, and Bry's a good point there as well around, knowing basic map reading, basic first aid. It is really important. It does give you more confidence. Again, you go back to those three things. You be confident what you're going into, and it is once you have that confidence, then you can navigate confidently. You can make better decisions in the mountains. And those decisions aren't, you're not worrying about them or question yourself. You're like, no, that is where we're going, and we're going to be safe. That terrain is useful. I got the right gear with me, and it just gives you so much more of an enjoyable time in, when you're out there in the mountains.
It certainly does. Yeah. I mean, it's such a frightening experience. To be on the hill there, bad conditions, and you find yourself lost or disorientated. I would say just to mention something on Andy with technology now.
Sure.
Because it does play a great part and a big part in mountain rescue now. especially mobile phones.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, people shouldn't rely on them, but if you've got a mobile phone, a couple of tips. Obviously, get a full charge battery. Avoid taking too many photographs if you're out there with a group. Keep at least one phone there for emergencies, and make sure that your location button on the phone is switched on at any time. We've got some software that we can actually locate people that may be lost or disorientated or injured through their mobile phones.
Nice.
So I would say around about 95% of the time this will work.
Yeah.
And so it's a great life-saving bit of technology. So rather than, if somebody is lost, rather than us going searching for 6-8 hours if we don't know where they are, because sometimes we still get phone calls from someone saying, I'm lost, and they're somewhere in the Brecon Beacons, which is a huge area.
I was going to say that leaves it open a bit, doesn't it?
They may have parked the car. So it's a process of elimination, then trying to locate their car and where they may have gone, and if there's poor visibility, they can't see what's around them.
Yeah.
But we can locate people now via their mobile phones quite a lot of time, about 90-95%.
Nice. Makes it so much easier, doesn't it? And,
and just for information, if people do need mountain rescue, they need to dial 999. They ask for the police, and then they ask for mountain rescue.
Right. Okay.
Either ourselves or the police will send them a link, and they will be asked to click on the link. And excuse me, if that's done, we can normally know where they are, and that will save hours of searching, so we can go straight to them.
Well, that's it. Time is everything, isn't it? Sometimes you haven't got long to save people. So 100%. If that works, I know there's a couple of other things been brought up there, because Kevin, I know we've talked about this before. What 3 words do you? What's your kind of opinion on that? Is it still worth using? I know it's still a tool. Obviously, it can be a little bit off. It can be like different place in the world, right?
Yeah. It's still a tool.
Yeah.
It's becoming more popular, and excuse me.
That's all right.
Our preferred method would be to use, as Paul has put there, OS locate.
Okay.
Ordnance Survey Locate, which is a free app. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's all right, mate.
We'll give you a 6-figure grid reference.
Right.
Okay. With what 3 words? Obviously, it gives you the 3 words. The danger is if you misspell any of those words, or the person that you give in those 3 words to misspell them, we could be the other side of the world. Yeah. So what 3 words is a very useful tool, and a lot of agencies do use it. But in general, I would say we would prefer to be given an OS grid reference.
Okay.
Simple app, simple to use, and less likely to make any mistakes.
Okay. Yeah, I know we've chatted about it before, and I know a couple of us, the team, chat about what 3 words, because it's very popular at the moment. But I know that the OS locate is, because I use the OS maps a lot, especially the digital versions, and their app, which is awesome. I use OS. I also use All Trails, which is pretty good. Fat Maps, but I got to be honest, the OS locate is something I've used before. It's very, very good. Yeah. And it's I think Justin's there. Hey Justin, how you doing? Haven't heard from you for a while, but hope life is good. Justin made Everest Base Camp. When was it, Justin? Was it? I think it was last year. No, it wasn't. It was 2020, wasn't it? Just before COVID. It's been a while. What was it? I was on an organised trek in Snowdonia and hit by a whiteout. And the mountain leader was relying on the phone. It is hard, isn't it? Because any guided walk, they should be using both. They can use whatever they think they should use, but I think it's good to have the physical map and compass if you're guiding personally. The digital stuff is great. I mean, I use it a lot when I'm on my own, in the mountains, and but I do carry map and compass with me.
Yeah.
I think it's important. But yeah, so sorry to hear about that, Justin. And yeah, it's hard when, like you said, if it's really cold or you've got no signal, you're screwed, really.
Yes, yeah.
Unless you know your way down, hopefully. Well,
Yeah.
obviously Justin's got down. But yeah,
And
football is treating
it's
you
so
well.
easy, digital mapping is the thing now, and we all use it, and it's great. It's simple, and you've got it in your hand as opposed to a map, but things can go wrong. And one of the simpler things is the battery going down, So another piece of good equipment is just take a mobile charger with you, which you can just
power bank,
a power bank and plug in,
Yeah, exactly. It's good shout. We use them a lot on treks. I know Dave literally talks about them on every live. We do Tuesday Tune In Bingo, Kev, and usually it's Anchor power banks or Maindel boot hands, because we always talk about boots. I have to get that out there. And Dave injuring his knee, because that was been a topic over the last 12 months. But he's and you go back, actually, you remember earlier on you said about mountain bike accidents. I know Dave, it was quite interesting because I wasn't with Dave when he injured his knee, but I remember him saying he should have called you guys, really, in the situation he was in. But his mind, and I think it's important to bring up, he felt too proud to call you guys. Whereas he should have really just called you, right? Like, and anyone out there who happens to, don't feel so proud. If you need help, you need help.
No, that's right. We'd rather be called in the first instance, and it's better for the casualty as well. Leave it go. I think a lot of people feel that way, or we don't want to bother them, or I'm experienced, but it's always good to call. There's so many people. You can have I know quite a number of people have just a small spill, a pain in the lower foot, and haven't called us, and just try to walk off themselves, which they did. But upon going to hospital and having an X-ray, they'd see they got a fracture there.
Oh, geez,
that it was going to take a longer to heal. If they had, because they could have walked a couple of miles on it. The struggle. So you've got to bear these things in mind. You could be doing a lot more damage by trying to get yourself off. Circumstances may be there, whereas you've got a bit of an injury on, because mountain rescue, whilst we can respond straight away, we still could be a couple of hours from you, So the situation is that you may have to try to save yourself. But generally speaking, if you get something you can't wait there, or you give us a call. We can always get stood down if we're not needed. But
it's good.
Don't waste time,
Yeah. Great stuff, Kev. Well, look, I know we've talked about a lot of physical stuff there. What happens in the mountains and things. But just to go back to the charity, because I know that obviously this year has been a biggie. You had the big target to raise money to the new headquarters, right, up in just outside Brecon. And then I know that you recently achieved your target you set at the beginning, which was awesome, right? But we still want more. I know we've obviously chatted about costs and things, and
I mean, just to explain the situation for the people that's online. We've got a mountain rescue team base in Fruitrecht Estate in Brecon, which we built back in 1991. And basically at that time, it was fit for purpose because we was having about 20 call-outs a year. We had 2 vehicles, and we had about 20 members. Now, if you move forward over the years, we've now got over 100 call-outs a year. We've got 4 vehicles, which we can't store in there. We've had to increase our volunteers up to about 55 to 60 people. And our base now is no longer fit for purpose. We can't store our vehicles. We can't get all our members in, which is critical for training. We got inadequate drying rooms, inadequate storage for all. We got a lot of equipment, as you can imagine. And we've had to buy steel containers to put put stuff in. So basically, it's we recognized this quite a number of years ago that we had to start saving for a new headquarters, which we did. We saved a lot of money. We put that into it, and about 18 months ago, we had the official costing for it was £1.1 million. So that was our target. And that's the information we give to all the grant applications that we were applying for and to the general public and supporters. Fortunately, we was able to say about a month ago that we reached that target. Now, we want to be transparent with this. We didn't want to go back and say it was going to cost us more, but actually, the reality is it's going to cost us more because, especially since COVID came in, building materials have gone through the roof. And now, instead of costing 1.1 million, it certainly looks as if it's going to cost us 1.2 million. So we're still sort of funding for it. But the good news is we have got enough to start the new base. And we're in a position now where we're waiting for tenders to come in. And fingers crossed, we should be starting on the new base in around about March next year. But we still need the money to top that up. So,
well, it's fantastic news, and I'm super happy for you guys. And you know, having a HQ that's suitable, like you said, fit for purpose. You've got space for the vehicle, space for training, space. I've been to visit you guys and seen. To me, I still love your existing headquarters, where I can imagine. And you've shown me the new designs. It obviously, was it going to be? You're going to have two floors. You're going to. It's huge. It looks awesome.
Yeah, we're going to extend out from where we are. Obviously, the current premises is going to be demolished. We're going to extend out. We're going to have one story above it as well. There's two real key things about it. One, the essential thing, it will allow us to provide our voluntary unpaid service towards the next 30 to 50 years. So we need the space. But the other key thing is we were able to accommodate more people, members of the public, and our communities into our base. We get a lot of local visitors there, especially groups, or school groups, DOV groups, youth groups, coming from away as well. So we can enhance our community engagement with the new facility as well. That's all part of our education program. So it's all good stuff, really.
Nice. Because that was going to be one of my questions, like what difference would it make? But I suppose then it will mean that, like you said, it future-proofs the charity. Meaning that, like you said, the next 30 to 50 years, you'll still be able to operate effectively.
That's right.
Which is the biggie. And I suppose will it mean that you'll be able to get any more volunteers, or you kind of comfortable with the numbers you've got now, or is that kind of the level that's required for the size area?
Yeah, we sort of estimated a number of years ago now that mountain rescue call-outs throughout the UK are on the increase. So the more they go on the increase, the more resources you need. So the more volunteers you need. So like I said, we've increased from what was around about 20 to 55 to 60 we got now. And we thought we may have to go to about 70 or 75 in a very near future. Nice. So we have got enough as it is now. And we've actually got a waiting list as well for people wanting to join the team as well. So
that's good, isn't it? A waiting list, happy days. That's that's so good. You've got to, because I bet it is really popular, isn't it? People, wanting to get involved with Brecon Mountain Rescue, if they're a mountain guide or they've got like medical training, like you said, about the person coming on Friday who's a paramedic, any medical background or background search and recovery is huge, right? It's amazing.
We got a mixed bag. Obviously we've got a lot of professional people in the team. On the medical side, from doctors to paramedics, we got professional people working in the outdoor industry as well. But outside that, we got the farmers, we got the painters, and local government workers. So it's a big mix of people. And like anything like this, the key thing, regardless of what your background is, you need to be a team player, because we've had success as a team because everybody works together
Excellent.
as a team, which is it's essential for us to be effective and efficient.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Well, great stuff. Well, look, I mean, with the obviously the upcoming, just to go on to the charity dunk of this Friday, just a reminder to everyone as well. Yeah, I think we're over 8 minutes now, which is fantastic. So yeah, £800 is 10 minutes. Sorry, I've been corrected. So if we get £800 is 10 minutes, £1,000 is 15 minutes. Whew, 15 minutes would definitely be
All
crazy.
right.
Whew, we need to build a nice little hot fire to warm us after that. But yeah, if anyone does want to donate, there's the link again. Yeah, just if anyone on the live or anyone who's watching it non-live, because we do put this up on YouTube. So anyone that's watching this on YouTube or anyone that's listening on the podcast, I'll put the link in the show notes as well. Just a couple of questions we've had. Sorry, one question from Dave. Do I still need to get in the water? Yes, Dave, you do. I know. As you can tell, Dave loves cold water. To be fair to him, I think he's got it. I think he can do it. He's a Yeti. I know our environment's the mountains, but water will be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Right. So we got a question from George Steedman. Hey, George. We've had some questions before this, Kev, because we get some by email. So I think George followed this one. Early question: could you confirm the ideal day pack to buy? Okay, so we're basically asking about size day packs for the trek. So I'll jump in on this one, Kev.
Yeah, you carry on.
With the equipment, George. Yeah. So if you're doing like say Everest Base Camp, Killy, anything between sort of like 25 to 40 liters is enough. You don't really want to go any higher than that. I mean, you can do. We've had people who've had 60-liter bags, but I think it's a bit overkill for the types of treks that we do. You obviously got your Osprey, Deuter. You've got lots of really good makes out there. But yeah, anything between 25 to 40 is ideal. Just to answer that one. Ray has asked about it's to do with winter training actually. Do I need to buy special boots that are compatible for crampons for winter training in January? Yeah, I mean, Kev, obviously, just lean on your advice here. Obviously, I just to get you involved as well. Obviously, with boots, certain boots are compatible with certain crampons, right? B1, B2, etc.
Yeah, certainly. Obviously, it's to the extent that you want to use. Obviously, as a team, we always carry crampons out there, or in one shape or form. But if you're doing anything serious and you need to get the right boot for so that crampons can fit. And all this advice, you can go to any good indoor shop, and they'll be able to advise on the type of boot you want with crampons. If you haven't got these and you're not going to the extreme, you can always get these inset crampons that can fit a normal sort of boot, which are more small, compact, and can suit the purpose for the type of thing. But anything serious with crampons, you may be talking about a winter boot that is more suitable for them.
Yeah, definitely. I think certain
people tend to get, if they're really enthused, they're going to have a winter boot in addition to their normal sort of trekking boot as well. So.
And thinking about the types of boots, because I think Ray is on we got winter training in Scotland, which I'll be on. Really excited for that. Jody, if you could put the winter skills link on here as well. Drop that in the comments just if anyone wants to. We've got a couple of spaces, but I'll be on there. I think Zach is also joining us as well. I think we've got 2 spaces left, so if anyone does want to book in, definitely get yourself booked in on that. With the and Steve, who's our mountain guide, who will be there, we'll be talking all about crampons, all about the use of in winter conditions over the days we'll be doing. So definitely, honestly, be a great weekend. Really excited for that. And then we can go into that in more depth. But yeah, Ray, I hope that helps a little bit as well. Great stuff. Well, look, Kev, I mean, just to kind of finish off really, because obviously it's been really interesting hearing obviously about Brecon Mountain Rescue. We will certainly, we love working with you guys. We love supporting you, and Obviously, I'm in the mountains a lot. I know a lot of the team are. We do our training weekends in Brecon Beacons and the sporting area, and it means a lot to us to support you guys, and just to let all the EverTrekkers know as well. Anyone that does book with us, a small part of that booking we do donate to Brecon Mountain Rescue, just because we at the end of the year, as our charity of the year, we like to donate a certain amount of money to Brecon Mountain Rescue. So yeah, just another thing if you're obviously booking a trip with us. I know a lot of people on here are already booked on a trip, and so just by booking a trip, guys, you're helping Brecon Mountain Rescue. So, which is fantastic. But yeah, Kev, I mean, mate, it's been lovely having you on. Any final thoughts from you? I know Dave usually has the final thoughts. I thought I'd throw it over to you, Kev, about the mountains, about Brecon, about the charity dunk on Friday.
Yeah. Well, first of all, before we go off,
sure.
Go offline. Thank you, Andy, and all at EverTrek, for your wonderful support that you've given us. It's been a couple of years now, and you're always there. You're always striving to support us, and it's great. And it's obviously we need this external support financially, otherwise, because you can't raise all the money ourselves. But in addition to that, whilst money is important, it's really important that we get a community on our side and feel a part of us, and that's something that EverTrek have always done. So it's nice to have you as a partner, regardless of any fundraising that we're doing. Secondly, I'd like to thank all the people that have donated so far for the plunge on the 9th. Very much appreciated. Anybody else would like to donate, I'm sure we would be, and Andy would be very pleased to receive some more. So thank you all for your support in any way that you may have given it. And it's been a pleasure to be on here.
Lovely.
I think that covers it. Did you ask me another question?
Awesome. I take it you sound like you're organised. You've got notes there, Kev. That's good. That's better than me and Dave.
I did have a couple of notes. Only there's no questions on them, so I am referred to them.
No, mate, it's brilliant. Well, look, it's been a pleasure having you on, and we're excited. I'm sure we'll get up to 8 minutes on Friday. But yeah, like you said, anyone that can donate, it does help Brecon Mountain Rescue. It will support the headquarters. That will make a difference in Wales.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
And it'll make a difference to people's lives at the end of the day. And that's
certainly,
we're all in the mountains. Everyone on here is into the mountains, obviously. And not only that, but the surrounding areas. And there's a huge big 10 from all of us to you, Kev. I think I'll speak on behalf of the community. We do take our hat off to everything that you do and the time you give, because I know time is so precious these days. And thank you so much for being involved.
I'll give my regards to all the team, and thanks everyone. Should you want any more information, obviously we've got a website, breconmrt.co.uk, and any information is on there, including our online shop. So happy Christmas shopping if you want to have a look at the online shop again. Pleasure to speak to you, and everybody keep safe.
Great stuff. Yeah, it's all about Christmas, Kev. If I don't see you before Christmas, have an awesome time and a Merry Christmas. I'm sure you have some mince pies and maybe a sneaky beer, mate. We'll see what happens.
I guess I will. Yeah. we've actually got our team Christmas do this Friday. So So
all right.
Friday.
Try not to do anything crazy then.
We're gonna have a quiet night.
Enjoy. All right, mate. Well, I'll pre-warn everyone in Wales then, just to watch out for Brecon Mountain Rescue. They'll be having a few beers on Friday night, so watch out for them on Saturday. But thanks very much, Kev, and I'll chat to you soon, mate.
Okay, thanks, Andy.
Yeah, no worries. Bye, guys. See you next week.